Hey guys, welcome back to Father Fragrance. As you can see, we got another full bottle review coming at you today. And looks like we're having Attack of the Clones once again. If you've been around fragrance, the fragrance community for the last few years, you know that clones, man, they've been coming out left and right, all over the place. Today we're going to be going over a clone fragrance. And today's clone is going to be of Valentino's Uomo Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. Freaking mouthful, I know. So we just call it Coral Fantasy for short, make it easy. Yeah, so that's what we got going on today. And this one's not exactly a new one, but it's one that I think is one of the better ones out there, and it's worth knowing what this thing's capable of, okay? So, as always, when we do our reviews, another fragrance review here at Father Fragrance, we're gonna start with presentation. We're gonna go to scent profile. Then we're gonna hit up our performance, and then lastly, our pricing. And we're gonna take all those things into consideration, and we're gonna give it a final review out of 10. So stick around, here's some sweet metal music, and we're gonna jump right into it. Let's get it. All right, so let's get right into it. So what's today's fragrance? Today we're looking at another Lattafa fragrance, actually. And this one is Lattafa's Jasoor. There she is right there. I'll get a closer look here in just a minute. So what is this? This is a clone fragrance from Lattafa, like I kind of mentioned in the intro. And this one clones Coral Fantasy from Valentino. And as always, we're gonna start off with the presentation. So why don't we start with the box, which is what you would start with when you're opening the thing. Box is pretty cool, actually. I'm gonna get up real close so you can see it here. I'm just kind of re-examining here to make sure I see all the stuff that I need off of that. So I'll come in nice and close. So as you can see, there it is, Lattafa's Jasoor. I'm gonna move out of the way some. So just as a title there in the beginning, or right up at the front rather, sorry. And we have the house name down below. It's an eau de parfum and 100 milliliter bottle. Super simple. On the side here, this is Lattafa's little kind of their stamp of authentication, right? So you see this little holographic sticker. You'll see that all the time on their bottles. It's just kind of a way to show that they have authentic certification from Lattafa itself. On the back, just the all the ingredients and such that are in there. It still says Jasoor in the back. And as you're kind of looking, I bet you can see there's all kinds of words on there. This one almost looks like my last name, but I guarantee you that's not what that says. I'm gonna go with that. Probably says Fearless, but you can't see it. Oh yeah, there we go. There it is, Fearless, right? Anyways, so it's got all these cool like motivational words, right? Bold, brave, fearless, destiny. I don't even know, dude, what this has to do. Maybe Jasoor means something along the lines of that. I don't know, but hey, if you want to feel good in the morning, right before you spray something on you, which of course, that's going to be your best choice. Always feels better when you spray yourself, right? Then you can take a look at this box, right? Right before you step out, and you can feel real good about yourself. So that's what she looks like. I'll open it up. It's got this second sleeve on there. I have it on backwards. Oh, there. No. Actually, we're good. I'm just an idiot. It says it on both sides. So this has that kind of second sleeve here. I'll step away again. Cool, like gold color with this weird pattern on it. But yeah, little Russian dolls kind of box, yeah. And then boom, it comes off. That's where it sits. It goes right in there. I'll grab the bottle here and you'll see exactly how that would sit in there. Actually, let's just do that right now. So once you have everything off, you can take the bottle, right? And it kind of sits nicely in here, push it down, nice and snug. See that? Actually, almost, I wouldn't try this, but you can basically stay in there. It's not like a friggin' blizzard from Dairy Queen or something. So you ain't gotta, there's no prize if it falls out or anything, so don't try it, right? Just kind of showing you. Actually, it's in there snug, boy. I can barely get that thing out. Goodness gracious. There we go. So there it is, that's the box. Now let's get up close and take a look at the bottle. So again, I'll step away so we can see a little better. There we go. There it is, Jasoor. All right, you can see that on the bottle on the front. Looks just like the box, really. And again, we have that kind of interesting writing all along this, and it looks super, super expensive, right? I mean, look at, I'm just kidding. It's pretty cheap looking, a little gaudy if you ask me. It's kind of cool looking, I guess, but it's a bit much in my opinion, but it's not all about that. At the end of the day, we're looking at the juice inside, but you know, it's just part of the thing here. So on the top there, it has Lattafa again, up the house up top. some kind of design. Nice thick bottom on the glass on the bottom. And you can see that there's quite a bit of fragrance in there, but it's because it kind of goes way up there. So it's interesting on there. There's your little Lattafa stamp again down there. And I'll pull this off and see how long this neck is. So you have fragrance all the way up into that too. Like it goes all the way up there. So it's kind of a funky bottle shape, really, to be honest with you. It's really tall. It's kind of awkward in your hand. Like it's kind of hard to, like if you had a smaller hand, I have a pretty big hand. I could see it being a little strange trying to spray this on there, but so bottle's not bad though. I don't have anything that looks like this, so relatively unique. It's just, to me, it's a little bit obnoxious, I guess, but whatever. Just a freaking bottle, who cares? So that about covers it for presentation. All right, now moving right along into our favorite segment of the fragrance reviews, right? We're getting into the scent profile. Let's find out what this juice is all about, man. All right, so how are we gonna do that? The way we always do. I'm gonna go ahead and grab me a nice tester strip. I'll get a shot on the top, let you know what I'm smelling right there, and then we'll do a note breakdown. And as I'm doing the note breakdown, I'll come back to it and smell the dry down as we go. All right, so let's go ahead and get a shot on this thing. All right, got the tester strip. I'm gonna get up nice and close so I can kind of hopefully see a little bit of the juice coming out. And when I hit this atomizer, I'll let you know how that is too. All right, here we go. Go ahead and get that. We'll get a double shot. Okay, it's not too bad. Not too bad. That's a pretty average atomizer. Don't suck and it ain't great. So I'll take that. Anyways, let's smell this while we get it. Hey man, that's pretty good, dude. Very fruity in the beginning. A lot of apple, right? Lots and lots of apple, a little citrus in there too. And then I'm getting some like flowers or something in there too, maybe. A little bit of floral in there. Yeah, that's nice though. That's pretty sweet opening, dude. Yeah, that's solid. Definitely getting that fruit. And even, so this is a kind of a fruit and tobacco combo. Is really kind of what the heart and soul of this fragrance is. And I'm already starting to get some of that tobacco in there too. Yeah, man, that's good. All right, just gonna kind of go through the note breakdown here. So off the top, like I said, this one was pretty obvious. We have apple, there's cardamom, and then bergamot. So you definitely get that fruitiness. I'm getting a little bit of the spices, but it's not super upfront. Then we got in the mids, we got tobacco, lavender, geranium. I get that. So not so much lavender. I'm a big lavender fan. You'll probably start to see that the more you see reviews from me. I think lavender is a fantastic oil to put into to your fragrances. But I'm not getting it a lot in here, but that's not a big deal. It's still, the other stuff in the mids are pretty nice. I'm gonna keep sniffing this. As you know, I'm addicted anyway, so I'm gonna keep sniffing this as I'm talking about it, so I can keep getting, as it dries, right? All right, and then base notes, right? Tonka, leather, patchouli, vetiver. I'm getting tonka. This is pretty sweet. You know, it doesn't have that like hyper vanilla kind of smell that you get sometimes with tonka bean, but this definitely I do pick that up. Leather, nah, not really. I love leather fragrances. I would be able to tell that pretty fast, but I really don't get that here. Not a problem. It's just not something I'm smelling. Patchouli and vetiver, and also not a ton. Again, so whenever you see notes like that and you're not picking them out, it doesn't mean they're not there. It just means that it's probably there in a smaller concentration, right? That it was used as a way to kind of round out that fragrance to ultimately get the end goal. Just because I'm not picking that up, first of all, doesn't mean you won't, right? So if you get on this thing, you might be like, okay, yeah, I'm smelling this, all of those notes individually. I'm not, but that don't mean you won't. Yeah, they're still there, right? So yeah, as this dries down, I get a little more tobacco, okay? That's really what I'm getting more out of this. It's like a fruity tobacco fragrance. Is pretty much what I get. And when I'm wearing it, that's what I smell too. There's lots of fruit, lots of tobacco, and a little bit of sweetness. Pretty good, right? I would say it's not the greatest in the whole wide world or anything, but this is very mass appealing stuff that it's compliment getter. Like when I'm wearing this, people tell me that I smell good, right? And for a lot of people, that's all they're looking for anyways. So this will definitely get you that, right? As far as closeness to the original, so again, I talked about this. This is a Coral Fantasy clone, right? Dude, it's really close, like to the point where I had to buy it, right? So I like Coral Fantasy quite a bit. It's probably my favorite Valentino, the Born in Roma line. So probably my favorite flanker, either that or Intense. Both really, really good. This one I think I like a little more because I think it's a little more versatile. We'll get into that when and where here in just a moment to wear this thing. But because of that, ultra closeness, to me, was willing to say, I'll chew on that. I'll keep that extra, you know, $80 or whatever it costs to go get the real thing and settle with this one. I like this fragrance a lot, and to me, it's 90-95% to the original, man. Like, you're wearing this out and about, ain't nobody gonna be able to tell the difference on your skin whether this was Coral Fantasy or Jasoor. I'm gonna tell you right now, unless they're like they have just a really sophisticated nose. I just couldn't imagine somebody being able to pick this out off of a tester strip or off the skin. Unfortunately, I don't have Coral Fantasy here with me to test it alongside of it, but I've worn it before. I've had it before. I've had it in decants. I've smelled it 1,000 times in department stores because I'm obsessed with smelling them. So every time I go into a store, that's what I do anyways. So I can tell you right now, this thing is basically dead money. Now, last thing for scent profile, when and where to wear this. I think this is pretty versatile. I know I've heard quite a bit from other folks that this is kind of a more of a cold weather fragrance, so like fall, winter time. But I could easily see this fall, winter, spring, and then maybe on like a summer evening or something. The reason why I put it to you that way is it is a pretty sweet. And when you have sweet fragrances in the heat, they can get a little obnoxious. They just get a little tough on the nose. So with all that being said, I would recommend if you can pretty much wear this all year round. It's just be mindful of like a super hot day, which, you know, I live in Florida, right? So that's every day in the summer. So just keep that in mind. And I know all you guys down in the South are feeling the same exact way. You could wear this in the summertime. I just wouldn't wear it. I would only wear it at nighttime if you choose to wear it in the summer. All right, taking that all into consideration, on scent profile alone, man, this is good stuff. I would give it, let's go, it's 7 or 8 out of 10. So let's give it the benefit of the doubt. We'll go 8 out of 10. It's really good. Okay, so now let's talk about performance. Now that we know that it smells pretty darn good. For performance, I would say that it's not bad. Like, it's probably above average. It's not a weak fragrance by any means, but it's not very strong either, performance-wise. So your projection and sillage, you know, it's not that powerful. I will say that if you accidentally overspray this, the scent itself is pretty sweet. Almost, you know, some people could find it cloyingly so. If they did smell it a lot, the scent itself could feel a little overwhelming, even though it doesn't push that far out. So if you got a lot of it, it would kind of feel a little invasive, right? Like your nose would get pretty fatigued from smelling that from time to time. I run into that myself when I wear this sometimes, so I wear it pretty light. Anyways, back to what we're actually talking about, performance. It doesn't push a ton out, and the sillage is probably moderate, right? So it's pretty easy not to overspray this guy, and you might get like, I would say 3 hours out of it, 4 hours, which is good, right? Like, that's not, you can get that with plenty of designers and stuff, and that's not unusual, right? So I don't think it's bad. Otherwise I would tell you that this thing is weak, but it's not anything crazy, okay? And then honestly, after that 3 to 4 hour period, you'll still smell it, but it will be a skin scent by then. So it'll be really just for you and like any weirdos that are sniffing your wrist or your neck up close, I guess. Like, I don't know, if you like people doing that, that's cool. I don't usually let people do that. I guess maybe my wife or something, like, I don't know. She wouldn't do that because she would think that's weird. I'm gonna tell you right now. Anyways, enough of that. Let's go take all these things in consideration as far as longevity, projection, and sillage. And I'm giving it like, it's above average. Let's go like 7 out of 10, right? So good, but not exceptional. And then lastly, we're gonna talk about pricing, as always. And that is where this bad boy excels very well. This thing right here, as a lot of Lattafas are dirt cheap, man. This one's gonna run you like 25 bucks from basically any discounter. In fact, I don't even think you need to go to a discounter. I think you just go to Amazon, you can get it for 25 bucks right then and there. You can have this bad boy at your door in like 25 seconds, the way Amazon does it, for $25. So that's $1 a second. That's pretty good. No, but anyways, yeah, so on pricing, very hard to beat that. The original goes for over double that. So for me, it absolutely did the job well enough to substitute for Coral Fantasy altogether, to be honest with you. So I settled for that because I was like, you know what? I like this scent. It's not my favorite in the whole wide world, but I like it enough to want to own it. but also I don't want to cough up, you know, 100 bucks or whatever. Jasoor fixed that problem. So on pricing, that's a 10 out of 10. It's hard not to say that about a lot of these cologne fragrances, like from Lattafa, Armaf. Well, they can be a little expensive. Right? Lattafa, some of the Fragrance World ones, right? Those guys are selling really good stuff for really cheap. 25 bucks, this thing's absolutely worth that, okay? I've got stuff that I've owned that either doesn't smell as good as this or perform as well as this for way more than that. Yeah, as far as pricing goes, 10 out of 10. I have absolutely no issues with that pricing. So yeah, take that for what it's worth. No pun intended. All right, so wrapping this all up, what are we gonna rate this considering all of the things we just talked about? Our performance, our profile, our presentation and pricing, right? Well, I like this. It isn't my favorite fragrance in my collection, but I do wear this kind of a lot, to be honest with you. It's something I do find myself reaching for pretty frequently because it's easy to wear. It's not very offensive. I can keep the scent pretty close to my little normal scent bubble that I'm looking for a lot of times, and it's not anything that's really gonna bother anybody. Unless you overspray it like I talked about, because it is a little sweet. With that all being said, when you consider, like I was gonna give this a 7 out of 10, but it's just so hard to do that considering the price of it. So because this thing is 25 bucks, man, I'm gonna give it another bump. I told you that was a 10 out of 10 on the pricing. Let's go ahead and give this an 8 out of 10 because can you really be upset with this for not performing like a monster or something like that? Not really, man, 25 bucks. I've talked to you guys about this before. If you watched any of the videos I've had, if the performance isn't all there on a $25 fragrance, dude, I'll just reapply in a couple hours and we're gonna be all right. Yeah, let's give it an 8 out of 10. I think this is a good fragrance. I couldn't recommend this enough if you're looking for, especially if you like fruit or tobacco fragrances, especially apple. There's tons of apple in this. Yeah, this would be almost line by safe for you. So great fragrance. Definitely recommend checking this out if you get the opportunity. All right. Well, thank you again for watching another video with Father Fragrance. Again, I've been Tyler. I really appreciate you guys sticking around, and I hope that you found this entertaining and helpful in trying to figure out if this is a fragrance for you, right? If you didn't, at the end of the day, I really am appreciative of you sticking around long enough to get this far. And if you wouldn't mind, just jumping down in the comments, let me know if there's something I did wrong, something you think I could do better, or something you'd like to learn about that I didn't cover here, okay? And I'll get back down there with you and we can flesh it all out, baby. It'll be awesome. Thank you again for this. I hope to see you guys next time. In the meantime, stay smelly, y'all.